Hi friends, it's Anna here with another Empties for you. This week, it's going to look like I got through a ton of wax. Or these 2 weeks, it's going to look like I got through a ton of wax. I promise you, I really did not get through that much. What I did the beginning of September, I went through all of my fall and winter testers. And I pulled out the fall specific testers and put them in a gallon baggie to use as much as possible this fall season. Then I went through that bag specifically and pulled out things that were too bakery, too food forward for me to be comfortable putting them in the bathroom, in the mini room where I do most of my testers. And I made a mission to use as many of them as possible these 2 weeks. I do have 2 more days this month that will be specifically testers. One of those days is Halloween. The other day is unknown. I will be taking a few things with me, not this upcoming week, but the week after. I will spend Monday night, Tuesday night, and Wednesday night with my grandparents. So I will take a few things with me to warm while I'm there, and I might take some testers. I definitely am going to take a couple of partial bars with me, because my grandma loves the wax. She loves fall scents. She's not great about changing her wax unless I'm there. And she only has one warmer for the entire house. But I will take some things with me, and we will have some things that get warmed. I know that I will finish up these testers that I had pulled out this month. I probably will finish up a couple other things as well. But don't be shocked, because this looks like a ton of wax, but it's really not. Because, like, all 3 of these testers are the same. These are maple apple bourbon. But this was one warm. Here in the library I did 2, and in my bedroom I would do 1. So 3 out of 4 warmers. This was 1 warm. I had 2 caramel apple craze. And so because there were only 2, I did them in here in the library. There's 2 warmers in here, so 2 of the same scent. I had 2 in baked apple pie. So that was another change in the library. I had 3 in cran apple crumble. So that was 2 in the library, 1 in my bedroom. That was 1 more wax change. I had 3 in pumpkin rolls, so 2 in the library, 1 in my bedroom. That was another wax change. And I had 2 single ones that I did in the bedroom. 1 in caramel sugar cone, and 1 in vanilla cinnamon maple. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3. Anyway, you get the idea. So 1, 2, 3 days, 3 wax changes. I had everything identical. There were some other days, like if what was going in the bedroom was still going, I would leave it and maybe I just change what was in the library. Anyway, you'll get the idea. Let's go through the ones that I did specifically in my bathroom. I did falling apples one day, Johnny Appleseed one day. On the 22nd, which was the first day of fall, I did a tester of first day of fall. And I did cedar cider. Cedar cider is actually what is still in the bathroom currently. I do have a couple other wax items that I emptied up. Yesterday, for October 3rd, I used this sample of L3s. Today is October 3rd. This was a gift from Angela over at Angela's Melting Moments. I'm trying to be better at labeling these things so you guys can see. This was one Peeps bunny shape. I cut it in half, put it in here in the library, and it's actually still in here. Then I have these two clamshells. Each one of these had one cube in them when I picked them up. Fluffy marshmallow tea and cakes. This is actually what is still in my bedroom. This is from Lavender and Speckles, Beth. But I grabbed this in our last round robin. She sent these to me specifically. In our last round robin, fluffy marshmallows, vanilla wafers, tea, and cakes. And a verse on this one is 1 Thessalonians 5:17, which is simply, pray without ceasing. And if you understood, some of you may have been following along on my videos, and you may understand why it's so fitting that these verses that are on these clamshells are on these clamshells. Because the tea and cakes blends are some of my Rita's favorites. And these verses are the way we've had to live especially the last few weeks. I mean, we should live that way every day, but especially the last few weeks. And then this one, this will tell you how old these clamshells are. This was known as DAR meetings. She now just calls it lavender tea and cakes. This is fresh lavender sprigs with the aroma of warm, rich tea steeping beside a fresh slice of cake. And this one has on it Proverbs 3:5. Trust in the Lord with all thine heart, and lean not unto thine own understanding. And you can see I also picked this up in the round robin, technically. Now, she did put these in specifically with my name on a bag. And there is one more clamshell that's sugared violets tea and cakes that is still a partial clamshell. That one, I tend to lean more spring because of the floral specifically. But we've gone through these. Thank heavens we have a ton more of the lavender tea and cakes, aka DAR meetings. Because it was the blend that originally helped us realize what it was that she was like. Lavender tea and cakes is the one that I put in, and when I put it in, she cried. And I was scared to death. But she loved it. And then, as we continued to play around, we realized it was actually the tea and cakes oil that was doing it. It's her mama's special tea that she always made. That we, realizing that, I've begun to play with tea and cakes blends for her. And we have Mornings with Evelyn, which was a custom that I did. Her mama's name was Evelyn, and so that's a special, really special one, and she knows about that one. But we're working on a Christmas one, and she knows we're working on it, but I've not revealed the name of it or the special thing that's going to be on the bag to her, so I'm trying to talk in code a little bit. But that one is, so Mornings with Evelyn is Vanilla Surf, which is Best Vanilla Waves, espresso tea and cakes. The Christmas blend, which name I'm not giving away, is Pine Peppermint espresso tea and cakes. And all we have left of it is 4 shapes right now. I'm letting Beth get through the pre-order, and then I'm going to surprise my Rita and order a bunch of it. But And oh God, I love this. But the DAR meetings, or which is now known as lavender tea and cakes, because that was the blend that helped us first realize it. When I did my customs, I got 2 24 count shape bags of lavender tea and cakes. I had 2 amazing friends who did not know that I had a partial clamshell, which is now empty, and did not know that I had ordered 48 shapes in my customs. And when I do a clamshell, I do 1 cube. So I cut the shapes in half and warmed half of a shape per warmer. Lavender tea and cakes is typically a bedroom melt, meaning I only have 1 warmer in there. So meaning I do half a shape at a time. So, and actually the fluffy marshmallow tea and cakes is really all of the tea and cakes blends tend to be bedtime melts for her, because for us, because being they are like her mama's tea, they're so calming for her that oh gosh, I'm dropping things. I'm just gonna let these go on the floor. You've seen them. So, we tend to do the tea and cakes blends in the bedroom, honestly. Because they're her mama's tea, they're so calming to her that's where we tend to do them. So my amounts of lavender tea and cakes, like I got 2 24 count bags. Honestly, I even at that would not have needed to order lavender tea and cakes for probably a year. And I had this this clamshell that we were already working through because I knew it was older, so I was using it first. But I have 2 amazing friends, one of which you guys didn't see me film the box because it arrived on the anniversary of me. It arrived the week that the anniversary of losing my Dusty was. And at that point, I had lost contact with Rita. Y'all know that story. And I was just, like, there was too much going on. I couldn't film because all I could do was cry. And everything that was my box from Melissa Haight. Everything that she put in that box was literally perfect. In that box, she put a 6 count shape bag of lavender tea and cakes from Beth. So I had decided, okay, my customs are newer, so the 6 count shape bag I'll use next. Then, just a few days ago, you guys know that the box came from Melissa Ferguson. You guys, I did the video. Christmas in September. It came September 25th. Which, ironically, that is my Susie's daughter, Jody. That was her birthday. So it was like, I got a box for me when I was falling apart over missing my Dusty, her passing anniversary coming up, and losing contact with my Rita. And then I got a box on Jody's birthday. So it was like a birthday present for the girls. It was so sweet. But I called it Christmas in September because I didn't want to turn that into a super emotional video more than it was going to be. Well, Melissa, bless her heart, she knows we love lavender tea and cakes. She didn't know when she was putting this box together that I had ordered 2 24 count bags. So she sent me a large shape bag. I don't know if it's 12 or 24. I couldn't tell you. But it's a lot. So I'm set for lavender tea and cakes for literally at least a year. Maybe more like 2 years at this point. Because I have so much of it. But it's honestly, I say that now, but we might blow through it. Because it amazes me how often we both go, oh, we need lavender tea and cakes. If there's ever a night that I don't know what to put in at night for her, I always fall back on lavender tea and cakes because it works every single time for the both of us. So, I don't know. I say I have probably a 2-year supply, but I'm probably overestimating that, and we'll probably just blow through it because we both just love it. I bought the 2 bags of that, and I bought 1 bag apiece of the Mornings with Evelyn and Fluffy Marshmallow Tea and Cakes. So we have tea and cakes blends in general for a while. And we have 4 pieces left from our tester bag for the Christmas one that I'm trying to talk in code about. But as soon as Beth finishes pouring this pre-order, probably going to get a big bag of that so we can warm it a lot this Christmas season. Because it's so special. It really is special to the both of us. No, I never got to meet her mama. I wish with everything in me that I had known her back then. But she lost her mama in 2001. I was in 2nd grade in 2001. Okay? So we have been friends for over 13 years now. August was 13 years. But, and we're as close as sisters, I would say. And she tells people the same thing. Honestly, she tells people that I treat her better than her own family does, which is, that's a whole nother story. But, we are super close. But I didn't know her back then, and I wish with everything in me that I could have met her mama, but I didn't. But the story she has told me, I feel like I know her mama. And one of our other mutual friends' grandmother was her mom's best friend in church and in choir and all the things. And because of that connection, it's even more special. I just love her, and I feel like I know her, even though I never met her. And all the stories I've heard inspired the blends that I've created, to the point where I can put those blends in, and for the both of us, it's like our mama's here. Her mama is with us. And even though I've never met her, I can sit there when those blends are warming and talk to this. And y'all probably think I'm crazy, but I do the same thing. I talk to my Dusty. I carry on full conversations with my Nana, with my Dusty, all the time. Even though they're in heaven waiting on me. Like, I have full conversations with them. And I can do the same thing with Miss Evelyn. I put in one of these blends that we created for her. And it's like she's right here and I talk to her all the time. So these blends are so special. And I tell Marita, it's like I know her, even though I never met her. Because she made the stories so real. We're going to have the biggest bag Beth has available of the Christmas one. But I'm just waiting until she finishes pouring this pre-order that she just closed today. Because you guys are amazing, and you just basically, she was in shock over how much they sold. I'm in shock over how much they sold. But Beth deserves it. She deserves every bit of it. I love her heart. I'm so thankful that you guys made her pre-order so amazing. We will wait patiently to order that Christmas blend, and we will treasure the 4 pieces, which equals about 8 worms, the way we typically do the tea and cakes blends, that we have until we can get the custom bag. The only reason we only have 4 pieces left is the one day to test it, because Beth is amazing, and she did not charge me for the 6-piece tester that she sent, because she wanted us to warm it and tell her if she needed to change anything. And so, because I wanted to get a really good read on it, I cut 2 pieces in half, and we warmed that Christmas blend in every single warmer that day. It was perfect. One day, I'm gonna learn to just trust Beth. And honestly, I didn't ask her to send us a tester, but I was really thankful that she did, because I was a little bit nervous about how the balance of notes might be. And I will do test runs of any custom blends anytime Beth wants us to do it, but I've learned to trust her, because honestly, on cold, I was worried that the peppermint might be a little overpowering. Even though I love peppermint, I wanted the tea and cakes to still be readable. When I warmed it, it was perfect. It was literally perfect. I trust Beth explicitly. I have asked her in future, very specifically, for one special verse on our Evelyn blends. And I'm not going to say that here, because that part is going to be a total surprise for Marita. But even down to that detail, she said, I'm making a note in my book right now, but please just remind me when you order. Like, she is so willing to make your customs be exactly what you've envisioned and hold all of those special memories, and I'm so thankful for that. And Beth's Tea and Cakes Oil is the best one I found, and I will forever order tea and cakes blends with Beth specifically, because I cannot express what she has done for us. Okay, I've rambled enough about those things. Let me tell you about the 2 other things I have here. Just a cotton cleanup from all the changes of tea and cakes blends. This whole thing still... Now, the only note I really can smell is tea and cakes, because it is in every single one of the blends that were on this cotton cleanup was tea and cakes and something else. So I really just smell tea and cakes. But this is a very full, very hard cotton cleanup. And then the last thing I have is a wallflower. I changed the wallflower in my bedroom today to sweet cinnamon pumpkin, because the one I had in finally used up. I don't know about y'all, but I feel like my wallflowers use at all different rates. Sometimes they feel like they're gone in like 2 weeks, and sometimes it's like 6-8 weeks, and I'm like, will you please use up so I can change you? That was the case with the current one in my bedroom. I felt like it was never going to end. And I loved the scent that I had in there. It was Pink Pineapple Sunrise. But I really just wanted to be full-on pumpkin. And I already had pumpkin in here in the library, so I was like, come on. But it was ready tonight, so I changed it tonight. The fragrance notes of sweet cinnamon pumpkin, if you do not know, are warm cinnamon, fresh ground clove, vanilla cream, and brown sugar. Now, I know it says nothing about pumpkin in those notes, I smell pumpkin. Sweet cinnamon pumpkin is the perfect name because I smell a very sweet pumpkin that's been sprinkled with cinnamon. That is exactly what I smell in that wallflower. I do not understand why pumpkin is not in the fragrance notes, but it's not. But anyway, that is what I have for you this week. A 25-minute rambling video. Heck, by the time I end this thing, probably 30. Thank you so much for bearing with me, because these customs and Beth's precious heart, oh my gosh, I love her. And I love her heart. I love her faith. I love how bold she is about her faith. And I love the fact that, I'm going to pick one of these back up just because I have to. I love the fact that when you get her wax, God's word is in front of you. And I know some of you might not believe. There might be some of you watching my channel even who don't believe. But I pray over every order that I see in Beth's group, and I'm in her Facebook group, and I see the orders come through. And I don't know every single one of your hearts, but I pray every time I see an order come through her page, I thank God for the boldness of her faith. She's willing to put His word in front of you, to use her wax business as a ministry. And I pray for every single one of you that as you're opening your wax and you're excited to smell it, yes, and I get it because her wax is amazing. But I pray for every single one of you that as you're opening your wax, one of these verses will make sense to your heart and will convict your heart if that's what you need. Will comfort your heart if that's what you need. I know God knows. God knows our hearts before we even know our hearts. So I don't have to know you to know how to pray for you. Because I just say, Lord, let this be exactly what they need. And I trust Beth's business like I've never trusted somebody's heart and boldness outside of some of my favorite preachers. As far as a layperson goes, Beth's boldness is on par with my friend Dusty's. And I think that's why I'm so drawn to her, is because in a lot of ways she makes me think of my Dusty. And I've said the same thing about Miss Etta Harrison, who, by the way, put another video up tonight. So if you follow her channel and you've been wondering where she's at, go and watch that, because she's, oh my word, she's amazing. And I'm always impressed by her boldness and her faith. I'm trying not to cry, y'all. Beth and Etta both, they put me in mind of the boldness that I saw in my Dusty. And I'm so thankful for that. And I pray that one day I'll gain that boldness back. Another day, because I have gone almost 30 minutes in this video. I'm not going to tell you tonight. But I used to have that boldness when I was much younger. And it was taken from me in a turn of events that were not my fault. And I pray that one day I'll get that back. And that's why I'm so thankful for people like Beth, who are not afraid. Because when I don't know what to say to people, sometimes I'll just pop a piece of Beth's wax in the mail. And trust God that the verse that's on there is going to be what they need. Anyway, until I see you again, my friends, please remember that I love you. And please, have a blessed day on purpose.